Hello everyone. So the game has been out for 7 years now, and it surprises me how many players still don't know the basics of what we for. Having said that, there isn't much in the way of education from the game itself. So I've compiled some basic rules to follow to take you from noob and give you at the very minimum a basic understanding of the game. And with that said, let's get right into it. There is a ton of characters now in For Honor, so picking which one to use can be tough at times, but honestly, until you reach a competitive level where people are playing the game optimally, it really doesn't matter which character you play. Just play one you enjoy. As for feats, pick what you like, or jump on the For Honor info hub and see what's ranked the best feats for that character. Rotations are a massive subject that I cannot simply cover all of in one video. On a base level, make sure you're not sending great team fighters with shitty clear like Zerk to mid. Make sure you have someone like Kensei, Nabushi, JJ, like anyone who can kind of clear a little bit better and have your team fighters in the team fight. I know everyone wants to get in there and do damage and enjoy the fight, but mid is a heavily neglected point currently, especially in matchmaking, and just clearing it and being on top of it will really help you win those games. This here is an example of over-indexing on a fight. If you've already got a 2v2 going on, and you're the third person, you really don't need to be there. You're just going to add tags. Like, you could separate and gank someone if you're confident in that ability and you're playing in a 4-stack, but if you're solo queue, just go mid and help your team cap that point. This is an example of what not to do. Don't push a point on your own that isn't yours when you don't have mid or any sort of real map control and you're losing the game. And especially if your 1v1 ability is like this, not to call out this guy, but you'd literally just, like, even if this guy's winning the fight, the warmonger just rolls back onto the point and heals. Like, don't do this. Go B. Team fights. Team fights are a tricky one. You're going to get better the more you play. My main pointers for what I see most of the time in matchmaking is stop pressing so many buttons, try to hold your HP the best you can. Most people are just eating damage because they're just trying to initiate. You don't always need to be pressing buttons. Against characters like PK that don't really have any offense, you can literally just external that character, lock onto his teammate, and block everything they throw. You don't need to make any reads. So playing slow and holding your health is going to be the best way to win those team fights. Obviously, you still need to land damage at points, but you'll start to learn where those openers are when you start taking on board those tips of just keeping your health. You'll start to see everyone else making the mistakes and begin to capitalize on it. And you start winning more fights, and winning more fights is always good. The final point I'll give for team fights in this video is just keeping an eye on what your teammates are doing. Not everyone's got a good eye for this game, and they press some silly buttons at times, so just make sure you're not feeding Venge and interrupting what they're doing. In unfortunately, you're going to have to kind of work around your teammates rather than having your teammates work around you. Ganks. This is the topic I was most eager to cover. Who loves getting just bombarded by a guy with Venge that you never even touched? Oh look, here he comes now. All jokes aside, this is something I see in every single game without failure. I'm actually not going to teach you guys how to gank. If you guys want to learn ganks, I'm going to plug Zzexplorer here. He has some really good in-depth tutorials on character-specific ganks if you want to learn. However, if you don't want to learn, that's also fine. But that little yellow bar that's glowing around either the attacker or defender symbol here, I'm going to highlight. When there's a flashing thing around it, like that, that means they have tags. And when you attack, they're going to gain yellow bar. When yellow bar gets full, they get Venge. Don't give Venge. That's the basics. Thank you. Feats. Feats are busted. Stop saving them for next game. They win you team fights. Look at the damage here with Fury with Zerk. 21 on a dodge forward light. 38 on a top UB. Like, people save feats for next game all the time. How many times have you seen Berserkers or Raiders saving their Fire Flask for the perfect double breaking situation that just never comes, or they die before they get to use it? If they use it early enough in the game, you'll get it back again. You use it twice, you never even get into that situation. Feats are super, super strong. Use them way more often. Stop saving them for next game, and you'll win more of them. For this final segment of the video, I asked some of the players from the competitive scene what advice they would give to someone trying to improve in For Honor.
I guess the one tip I'd give is try not to give revenge. It really puts your team in a bad situation when you give revenge.
If you can do it, always execute so that they're just respawning longer. There's no reason to not do it.
Best thing you could do is don't donate your point. Just wait for a rotation, somebody that's low that needs to like heal, and then you can leave.
I'd probably say that ganks are like really important in the game, and it's just like learning 1v1s, and it's just like learning team fights. Like it's something that takes a lot of practice and effort.
Honestly, it's just assessing a team fight as health bar values, like kind of weighing it as like percentiles, like having like them being at 100% at the start of the team fight and you being at 100%. As long as you can whittle down their percentage of health over yours, then you should have more success in team fights. So just trying to keep yourself safe and just making sure that your percentage of health is higher than theirs at the end, and that should just help you with most team fights in general.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. I try to condense the information as much as possible just so it's easier to digest. If you've learned something in this video, I'd really appreciate you dropping a like, and if this video does well and people want to see more, I'd be more than happy to make more in-depth tutorials on specific aspects of the game and even character guides. Thank you again, and happy gaming everyone.